How are you doing?
Doing okay. Let's see. What have we been doing the past 2 weeks? Got some house projects done. Um, so quickly learned that fastest way to argue with my wife is to have to get something done around the house. When
That's the fastest way. What do you mean? Like you'll get in trouble the fastest?
so no, I mean it's not that I'm getting in trouble. It's just that when it comes to home projects, uh, there is nothing else between us, whether it be our daily lives, whether it be how we interact and function at work, outside of the house, basically in any capacity that Ashley and I exist as a couple. Home projects are where we fall apart. Ironically, because we're building things together.
And is it the building of things like you have an IKEA table and I give me the screwdriver? No, the other
It's
screwdriver?
it is less guided. So she watches a lot of like DIY videos and has these ideas, and the projects, albeit, look fantastic when they finish. So like our bathroom looks really great now with the paint that she took off the doors of the cabinet doors and repainted those and repainted the cabinetry, and we put up beadboarding and some different sort of lining on the floor. Words escaping me.
Tile?
Not tile.
Floor.
It's
Floor.
Not
Baseboard.
Baseboard.
Got it. Baseboard. Okay.
Yeah, that one nailed it. So we have all those put up, and she painted all of the bathtub faucetry, and it looks once again really good. But whatever it is about the combination about us doing projects together, I immediately get grumpy and she immediately gets exasperated, and it is like it's like oil and water. It's just not mixing. Literally anything else, we don't have that level of headbutting.
So is the takeaway that you guys talk through this and make adjustments, or the lesson simply is we're never doing home projects together again?
We talk through it in the moment of, and I think we both do our best to try to alleviate the other person's stress. Hasn't been successful yet, and there is also no indication of it stopping anytime soon. So
It sounds like union negotiations.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
The
what's gonna
beatings will
happen?
continue until morale
So morale-
improves.
exactly. So, I don't know what to make of that. I mean, I think, who was I talking to? I spoke to somebody and we talked about things all being about triggers. I know, I'm pretty sure I know who it was. And that there are triggers that cause us to behave certain ways. It's not about it's not about maybe I'm just making it up, right? So maybe it's not about Ashley doesn't like that you're not doing it fast enough, whatever it is, right? Or doing it with enthusiasm. But then instead she has, it might be something of she has a vision and she's frustrated. She doesn't know how to realize that, and you're not helping. Your frustration is not helping her realize that vision. Things like that, right? There's inherent things that are more internal that cause the frustration. The manifestation is directed at
Right.
somebody, right? So I mean, maybe we talked about this in one of our things before. Maybe that's what we're talking about. But so it's one of those things. I'm learning that now. Mind you, I'm 58 going on 59, been married 30 going on 31 years, and have just discovered this. So you still are a long ways to figure out what the hell I'm saying, and even then, I'm not even sure it's right. But it's those things. It comes. I mean, I'm not trying to lecture. I'm just trying to navigate. How do we do that? And it sounds like yes, dear doesn't seem to be working.
Not quite.
So, why is that?
I don't know. So I think I don't know.
I mean,
I've done these things with enthusiasm, or at least started with enthusiasm and it kind of dwindled from there, right? Um, I think I think what it has to do with is we are so functionally different as adults, where in her head she has an idea and she has this plan set in to make that idea work. In my head, I have an idea. That's it. And how I get to point B does not matter. And I think that might be in scope some of the issue. Where there's, she has certain points to this plan, whether it be for making sure that future projects run smoother, or she'll have part of this plan to make sure that the overall aesthetic is the way she wants it, that sort of thing. And I'm just, monkey with symbols. Let's go ahead and put the rods in the wall.
By the way, let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, there we go. You probably can't see this. This is your text message.
Okay.
Do you see what your icon is?
I cannot. Is it? Oh, it's a monkey with symbols.
Exactly. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that we've talked about this before. I think I remember I remember fondly. I can't remember what we're on, and you do the dad thing. It's like, I'll ask your brothers, like, what's going through your head, when you're doing it, what's going through your head? It's, just wondering, I don't think you were in trouble or anything. What are you running in through your head? And, AJ would articulate, well, this is what I was thinking, point A, point B, need a plan, etc. Like, Ryan, what's running through your head? And you literally came to me doing this. literally as a kid, like this. It's a monkey. That's all I got in my head. and ever since then, that's how I see you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It just means that's how you work. That's how you tick. And it's not a sign of being an idiot. It's not a sign of being stupid. It's not a sign of anything except that you execute well, but you don't overthink anything, right? It's just a matter of simplicity is a secret of your success.
Sure.
Simplicity in thinking, is the secret of your success. To the point that, your brothers, particularly your older brother and I, we get frustrated. I've told you this before. We get frustrated. It's just like, we will overthink things and finally come to the same conclusion you did 2 hours ago. And it's like, well, I guess we could have, we just have to go through a process, and you're not process driven.
Right.
So for somebody who is process driven, I can see where she could be frustrated, but it's situational. I mean, again, that goes back to, so.
I mean, and I guess it doesn't only come up with home projects. It's coming up with home projects right now because she needs my help, right? She's 6 months, somewhat pregnant, right? So like, there are certain tasks that
no, that's more than somewhat pregnant, but
there are tasks that she cannot do that I have to then take the role of. So she's kind of vicariously working through me. So it might look like she's messing up the project. It's like watching a train crash into like another slow moving train. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's just you're just watching it. So that's probably part of it. But I mean, we've had these things come up with, like, cooking is a good example.
Oh yeah.
Right. I will not cook with her for the same reasons. It's just easier, since I do all the cooking, to just be like, just get out of the kitchen, because all that matters is point B, how I got to the dish. Whereas when she cooks, it's very much, I need 2 teaspoons of this, I need 3 tablespoons of that. And I'm just like, we're going to throw it in. We'll figure it out as we go on. We're going to keep tasting and go as we go on. And so we did run into similar issues, I think, there, but I think it got quickly nipped in the bud when I was like, nope, just leave the kitchen. I'm doing this. And she was okay with it. Like, okay, you can cook.
Well, that's kind of, and that's the similar story about me and Mom cooking. You know the story, right?
No.
I told you.
Maybe I heard it.
The story about why I've never cooked.
I just figured you never cooked.
So we were in our first apartment after getting married with Danielle. Our mom was pregnant with, and maybe there's some similarities. Your mom was pregnant with AJ. I was in law school. which meant that I had a little more flexibility in my time, so
Mhm.
to speak, right? And this particularly, I think it was like summer school or
Sure,
something
sure,
like that. And
sure.
I was in between jobs. I wasn't working. I didn't have to. I was in law school, and I had Danielle time. Of course, I took care of Danielle, and mom went to work. She was a breadwinner, and so she was operations manager, or whatever she was at mortgage company, whatever.
Yep.
And I've cooked before. I mean, okay. I mean, I mean, I'll admit it because she'll tell you when she was in her own bridal shower, I called her 2 or 3 times about putting a chicken in the oven.
Hmm.
And I mean, it would be things like, okay, put the chicken in the oven. I said, okay, that's fine. I had to call her back, and she's at, remember landlines, right?
Yeah.
So,
Not a
I
quick
had to,
text.
no, couldn't be a quick text. I called her and I said, and she says, okay, now put the chicken. I can't remember what she said. Put it on its back, and then put it in the oven. I looked at the chicken. I hung up. I looked at the chicken. I called her back. I said, so which side is the back? I don't know, right? I don't know. So, and it seemed kind of obvious, but she confirmed it. Now, part of this had to do with because I know she knows the answer, and I'm literally afraid I do not, right? I'm
Yeah.
afraid I do not. And she
Right.
knows the answer. I'll hear that. So anyway, so that was the one time. But another time I cooked, I think it was chicken in the oven. I can't remember what it was, and there was something about it, and it was fine. I'm not a foodie, not like AJ particularly. He really cooks like crazy, right? And so does mom, and then so do you, right? I'm more like Emma and Evan in particular. I mean, I shouldn't say they're picky about their foods, but insofar as we'll eat whatever there is because we're not big foodies in that sense. If we're going to eat rice and chicken, is fine. Whatever, get
Right,
some
right.
vegetables, we're fine. Simple. So I can't remember what I did. I cooked something, and it's been a long day for me too. It's summer, taking care of Danielle. I remember she's 6 years old, and I got studying, and I have school, and mom comes home and she's tired and she's pregnant, and so and she said something about the cooking. I can't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but it was something that, and it just ticked me off. It's like, it probably, why don't you use more salt? It was probably something not like, it wasn't, I don't think it was something like, I think this could use a little more salt, but that's okay. It was
Right.
like, why didn't you do
Yeah.
more salt, right?
Yeah.
It's
I
the
mean,
same thing.
the phrasing of the question wasn't.
Phrasings, well, it's not even one's a statement, the other one's an accusation. So so it's like, why didn't you? And it's something like that. I said, I tried, I was busy, etc. And she says, no, and we just fought right then and there. She's tired and she's
Yeah.
pregnant, that kind of thing. I get it. And I was tired. I said, you know what, I'm never going to cook again. Fine, I'm done. She says, fine, don't cook again. I said, I won't cook again. That was in July, that was in summer, I should say, of 1992. I have not cooked since. And so that's really where it started. Was I felt intimidated in the kitchen with mom because there's a certain way you do things,
Sure.
and the way this is not at your mother's expense. It's just her personality. She's pretty good about what she knows, and she'll let you know. She knows how to do a certain thing. She's very good at it, and she'll let you know. There isn't always a lot of room for the conversation of, oh, that's an interesting way to do it. I guess you can do that as well. That's usually not how it goes. It's like, no, you do it this way, right? So when it comes to cooking, it was just one of those things that I kind of got intimidated with your mother and her ability to cook really well. And just the sense that if I'm cutting carrots, I know she's looking over my shoulders because I'm probably cutting them wrong, right?
I know the
And
feeling.
so,
I understand. I understand that feeling
right,
very
and
well.
well, the difference with you when it comes to cooking, but you have confidence you can cook, so you don't care.
Sure.
I don't have that confidence, so right away I'm like, I don't think I'm doing this right, and I feel bad. So that's how I feel because I don't cook. So what I'll do is I'll smarten up and I'll cook the carrots the other way before I start cutting, only to hear, oh, you're cutting it that way, you should cut the other. It's like, okay, I don't, is there really a difference? I'm cutting them, they're going in a salad anyway, right? Or something.
Yeah.
And so mom has evolved from that, in the sense that she tolerates me more and she won't say certain things. And yet I know I can feel certain things, if you know what I mean, right?
The gaze in the back of your head. You're like, just
Yes.
say it. Just say it.
Just say it, right? So and mom, and to mom's credit, she learns my insecurities with cooking, right?
Sure.
And so she's been kind enough not to be so critical either. Okay, now it's a conscious decision on her part. This is not like it's an epiphany of hers that she became a whole different person and personality and being open to all different kinds of cooking and methodologies. No, it's just her being kind enough not to grind me.
There are two takeaways here. One is that grudges held for 30 plus years are very effective.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And two, mom will not actually tell you specifically when you're doing something wrong. which as her child is incredible.
Well, it's because I'm her husband.
Yeah,
I won't take it from her.
Well,
I'm aware.
I'll tell you right now. If I was cutting those carrots wrong, Mom would let me know. I wouldn't care. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to insecurities. Cooking's
Yeah.
my insecurity, right? So in our last episode of In the Kitchen, which was yesterday morning, so Mom cooked bacon on a cookie sheet with the aluminum foil over it, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to help her in the kitchen and clean up real quick. So I know what she does. You get the aluminum foil, you throw it away. Well, actually, I didn't know what to do with the oil. Are we putting it in the cup or am I throwing it in the trash? So there's the first rule. And that changes with Mom over the course of months. Because then I know this. I see a cup of oil, hardened grease or whatever for a few
Sometimes
months.
uses it for cooking later.
I don't know. I don't know why we have it. And suddenly it's gone. And then other times we throw it away.
You use it for cooking.
Okay, look, your mom's going to listen to this. So I have to be real kind. And you better be kind too. Don't get me in trouble. But anyway, so I know because you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
that's future Ryan's problem. Right now, there's no inhibitions.
Yeah, that's right. That how you get to point A to point B, you don't think about.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is what some of us do. This is where it pays off. But anyway, so I was going to do that, and I said, I'll take care of it. She says, I'll just do it. Like, no, I said, I can't learn if I don't do it. And I know what I'm doing. I just got to put the foil, fold it a certain way so the oil doesn't spill. I'll put it in the trash. Anyway, I spilled the oil, but and putting it in the trash. But at least I did. But I had to tell her, it's like, I can't help you if you don't let me do it. And Mom has been very open to that. I have just got the insecurities that I don't like because she's so good at what she does in the kitchen. She's got it dialed in. I get in her way, that kind of thing. It's just like you and Ashley. It's like, it's just go away. It's easier if I do it.
Yeah.
And so that really is a key reason why she does all the cooking.
Sure.
One, I don't care about what I eat. I'm not a real foodie person. I'll just skip a meal if I don't feel like it, right? Not that Mom doesn't, but I'm saying I don't think about food in a certain way. I don't care. So that's one thing. And I don't enjoy, I don't care. And on top of that, I have insecurities compared to Mom, and how Mom is. Mom's not the one who wants to teach me how to do it. She just tells me if I'm doing it wrong or whatever it is, kind of thing.
Sure.
And so I sense what you're talking about. The difference is you have the confidence in the kitchen and I do not. There are other things, and it comes back to personalities. You have to understand the personality of your spouse, right? And who they are. Are they, so Mom's, I would say, is an influencer or a teller, right? So Mom's methodology is, I know how to do this, I will tell you. Okay.
Sure.
Or I have a vision of how it's going to get done. We'll just do it this way. And if I have an alternative, it's like, yeah, we're just going to do it this way. It could be, how do we get to the restaurant? I'm going to do it. Whatever Mom says, what streets we're going to take is the streets we're going to take, because Mom, it will influence me to that point anyway.
Right.
She's not wrong. And me as husbands, I don't care. I don't care how we get there. I don't care.
Not the battle worth it.
No, exactly. So Mom's, and the worst part is usually she's right. If I pick the other one, it's gonna be blatantly wrong. The train came and we had to wait 20 minutes. All that kind of stuff, right? No. But Mom's personality is more of a teller or an influencer. And when you do these personality tests, I think that's where I'm using these kind of terminologies from.
Sure.
So that's and that's great. I mean, for what she does, for helping run the family, the strength that I love from her, and how strong she is as a woman, and she can do that. She as a person, she's not afraid of things because she just knows this is how we're going to do it. And then she gets very focused. Sometimes, very focused to a fault, especially if she's reading mail. She's locked. I can't even see. If she's on her phone, she won't even hear me. But the point is I'm not pejorative. I'm not saying critically. I'm just saying that's who she is.
Right.
Me, I'm a open-minded. I'm a collaborator. I want to know what other people's thoughts are to make sure I got the best information I need so I can make a decision, validate with everyone that there's no objections, or if there are, overcome the objections. And if you can't get over the objections, I'm still going to do it. But for me, it's a huge process when it comes to anything, right? When I do certain things, not everything, but lots of things. So, and certainly professionally, it's what I do. So I'm a collaborator. So we're different personalities. Okay. We're different personalities, and you have to learn to cope with that. And that's where it goes back to, that's why I say tell Mom, it's like, okay, you cook, you do that cooking thing. If I open up the dishwasher to load the dishwasher and she's right there, I will ask her where I'm going to put the dishes. If she's not, I'll put them where I want to put them. But it's just easier because that's how we're comfortable. And for her, I think it's more comfortable that I allow her to give that guidance. I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm not trying to put all the responsibility on her, how to do things. But she wants, I feel that's what she wants anyway. So why don't I just give her, here, tell me which way we're going, tell me where to put the dishes, and you do the cooking. Now, there's a lot of things I do. I tell her how to mop the floor, clean cars, clean this, wash, whatever it is, do the laundry. I've got my ways. and we either do it separately, or I'll tell her I'm doing it this way and I'm confident, and if you don't like it, whatever, at least it's getting done. So it's not like I don't have my choice or my ways. I just pick and choose the disciplines I apply those in. Directions, dishwasher, and cooking are not particularly my strong disciplines, where Mom's is. So we'll keep it at that. But that's what it's about. That's what I see with you and Ashley.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, because Ashley and I, for the most part, very good at staying in our lanes.
Yeah.
Right? She's good at this, I'm good at that, and we're very good. We very, very much counterbalance each other in that sense. And I think early on, right? I mean, early on, we found out we were very, very two different people. And I'm okay with that for a lot of reasons. One, I don't know if I can handle my energy all the time. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, that's right.
But that sounds exhausting.
Yes, it is.
So that's been a plus. But on the flip end of things, right? We take the trips, we do the social events, right? That would otherwise not have happened. So we have different value, not different values. We have different personalities, right? I'm very much, basically always, I'm very go, go, go. What's the next thing we're doing? How much time do we have till the next thing? She's more methodical, right? I need to have this thing done by the end of the day, and kind of works backwards from there. So we travel in two different directions, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. But why I think we work so well is because we hold a lot of similar values and a lot of similar interests. So our interests actually, we line up pretty well outside of certain things here. I mean, obviously it's a Venn diagram, right? But the space overlapping in the middle seems to be more than the space outside. And because we have those shared values and interests, we can enjoy each other's time together. Unless we're doing home projects. At which point, everybody is upset. The cats are coming in to intervene. They're upset. But I think that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, I think it's important. And I've always kind of thought it was important that personalities don't necessarily need to be the same. I think the values, the interests are more important than the personality of the person.
I think that's really a good observation, right? I think it's, and I mean, not observation, I think it's a good way to articulate. I hadn't thought about that. I agree that same personalities, I think it would be more harmful than it's worth. You know, if and I'm not knocking you, if there are couples who are very successful and they're both planners, great, you know, whatever. You know, if they're both go and type A's, great, if that works for them.
I'm sure it works still. I'm sure it's not the right.
Sure. I'm just glad that I have the balance of somebody who just said, we're just going to go. We're just going to do this. It's like, what about, it's close enough. Let's go. Like, okay. And it took that responsibility of me to overthink it, took it out of my hands. And I'm very thankful. And I'm very thankful for that. I think what we've evolved over time in our relationship, Moms and I, and it was definitely over decades, was recognizing those personality quirks and allowing space for that.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. That makes sense.
You know, and that takes more and more time. And then you find that it's more situational. But Mom knows that it's like, okay, we're going to go. It's like, okay. And she realized, like, I have to go through my methodology of whatever it is. Right. And so she lets me run with it. She's not going to sit there and say, why are you taking so long? She won't say that. Right. She knows it's going to take long, and she might be thinking it, but she respects, and this is what I think is important. She respects that I'm different. And so I go through my process. I'm the same with Mom, you know, so I could look at something and thinking, how is it possible that you can buy her a nice car, but we still all this stuff in the car, in the trash or whatever it is. I'll have 3 jackets and you know, what's on the floor here, and then would it kill you to, you know, I just look at it thinking, look, I'm lucky to have her and for what she has and what she brings to the table and how she makes me a better person. So if I have to go and pick this up and throw it in the trash or just ignore it, it's really more important. Just ignore it and cope with it, because it's not that big of a deal. It's like it's you know, it's the price you pay. I'll take it. I'll take that. So that's how we've evolved, and so more and more we've learned about our space. There's nothing, if you think home improvement taxes you, wait till you back up a trailer.